How about you? You're the star witness. What percentage do you give yourself? Do you accept responsibility? That may be something that you don't feel comfortable doing, but do you accept responsibility for any part of this accident?
Objection form.
50%.
50%. Okay? Tell us about the 50% that Goldie did. What did she do wrong? Starting with, how many different things did she do wrong, do you think?
I think she had a better open view of what was taking place. She had an open view of the position of my vehicle prior to entering that parking lot, while she was entering that parking lot. Clear indication that law enforcement was present. I think she had a better opportunity to stop short or take an evasive action to avoid a collision as well.
Who got in the parking lot first, you or her?
I did.
Okay. And tell the jury what you observed from when you first saw Goldie's vehicle, of how Goldie was driving. Where did she go?
I only saw the position of her vehicle after the fact, after the collision occurred.
Did you see her enter the parking lot?
No, I did not.
Then how do you know you got there first?
Giving the positions of the vehicle, and when I made entry into that parking lot, her vehicle was not present.
Excuse me. My understanding is that you backed up into her vehicle, correct?
Objection form. Please don't argue with the witness. Don't go harassment. If we start harassing, we're going to have to terminate the deposition. So
Really?
just, if you can soften your tone, it would be better.
Really? Okay. I didn't know lawyers had to do that. Lawyers had to be friendly and nice?
Yes, but be courteous, remember?
What about patronizing and condescending? Is that included?
Do you want to ask him questions or do you want to fight with me?
I want to ask him questions without you fighting. Yeah. I can be as dominant as you are.
You may ask him questions.
Can you answer the question I gave you?
I was in a backing motion.
You were in a backing motion.
Yes.
Okay. How is that different than putting it in reverse?
It's no different. The vehicle's in reverse in a backing motion.
If you're backing up, why would it not be your fault entirely?
I took the necessary precautions to make sure that there was no objects or vehicles behind my vehicle.
In fact, you hit her twice, didn't you?
Objection form.
To my recollection, I don't recall specific impact. I know there was a impact, there was a collision.
Okay. So my understanding is that you were leaving the parking lot, or your vehicle was at least positioned in the exit of the parking lot. Is that correct?
Objection form.
Entry exit. I mean, it's a enter exit.
Okay. But
Location.
the front end of your car was pointed towards Anderson. Have I got the street name right? The front of your vehicle was pointing towards Cameron Road, right?
No.
Is this your vehicle here?
This one here.
Okay. Which direction were you heading for when you caused the accident? You were going backwards.
Objection form.
To reposition the vehicle for better perspective of the incident that was taking place, not to leave the parking lot.
Okay. You put it in reverse, and apparently you struck her, and then you pulled forward, and then you put it in reverse and struck her again. Is that correct?
I don't recall that.
What do you recall her doing wrong that caused the accident?
Objection form been asked and answered. You may answer again.
Again, I think it's the mere observation of what's occurring in front of her, the open, better view of what's transpiring and the actions that I'm taking that
Okay, so she should be aware that a police officer is in the parking lot and she should be extra careful for your driving habits?
Objection form.
Are you saying that as a police officer, you're entitled to people getting out of your way, whichever direction you're going?
Objection form.
no.
I'm a little confused as to what you say in regard to being a police officer. You said that was one of the justifications that she did wrong, was that she should have been aware that there was a police officer in the parking lot.
Objection form and also.
What significance does a police officer in a parking lot make in regard to the rules of the road?
Objection form also, please. No harassment.
That's not harassment. I'm asking for clarification.
You're
as-
yelling.
That's not harassment either.
And you're also putting words that he didn't say.
If I speak softly, would that be better?
If you still remember the question, you may answer.
Yeah, this is a detour.
One more time, please.
Oh my goodness. Merely being a police officer, that you are. As I recall, you mentioned that as a justification for what it was, why it was part her fault that you backed up into her not once but twice. You said that as a police officer, she should be aware of her surroundings, and that the fact that a police officer is present, she should what? What should she do extra because you're a cop, as opposed to somebody else?
Objection form and it's
I
argumentative.
was very softly speaking, so it's not the yelling part.
Objection form is also the form of the question. Objection
Before
form.
I forget the question, and before you forget the question, could you answer?
Objection form.
Answer, please.
Objection form.
My capacity as a police officer has no bearing on,
Thank you.
and can I continue with that?
Yes.
He's supposed to allow you to finish up your answer.
Okay. My description of being aware of observation of what's in front of her is in more general terms as any driver on the roadway,
Field of vision.
field of vision, defensive driving, we all know that term, just being aware of your surroundings.
So, are you saying that she should have gotten out of your way? What about her field of vision did she do wrong?
Objection form.
I think it's a contributing factor that, depending on her perception and what she's seeing, there was that possibility of
You backing up?
not entering the parking lot or taking an evasive action.
What were you doing that would have given her reason not to go into the parking lot? Would you have... Oh, sorry. What actions were you making that she should have been aware of that played a part in the 50% negligence you're saying that she played in this accident?
Objection form asked and answered. You may answer again.
I think there's a clear indication that there's some sort of police event taking place in that parking lot, which would give indication that may be a location to avoid at that time. On the same note, given the steps that I took, I believe I was already in the backing motion before that vehicle or as that vehicle entered the parking lot.
Did you see her vehicle enter the parking lot?
No, I did not.
Did you see her vehicle behind your vehicle before you reversed?
No, I did not.
Then how do you know she did anything wrong?
Objection form.
Why are you placing 50% blame on her?
You asked him one question. Do you want him to answer that question? Or do you want to strike that question and go to another one?
I just want to behave and have him answer one of the questions.
He is. Which question do you want him to answer? Because you've asked two already before he could answer.
They're both the same question. One of them was a little bit more detailed. when he doesn't answer, I try to clarify, and I make it in other words. And
Objection
so,
form, compound question.
Oh, my
may
goodness.
answer.
thank God it's Friday.
Why 50%?
Yeah.
I believe both vehicles were in motion at the same time. Whether or not,
You don't know because you didn't even see her car.
Excuse me. You're supposed to let him finish up the answer when you ask him a question. You know that's one of the rules, and it's courtesy. When you ask a question, he's got to answer it fully. Okay? Were you done with your answer?
I was just going to add that based on the review of the video after the accident and the rear camera that captures it, the angle in which I'm backing clearly indicates that her vehicle was in motion as well.
Why are you backing up if, well, at that point, you had already figured out that the incident was where you were at as opposed to across the street, right? Or were
Yes.
you planning on going across the street?
Objection form. May answer.
No, I was repositioning my vehicle to handle the incident that was right there in front of me in that parking lot.
Okay, so the other two squad cars, they were parked already, right?
In the parking lot, yes.
In the parking lot, and they weren't going after any disturbance. They were sitting right there, and you were going to position your car to be right next to them, correct?
No,
You all were still in hot pursuit of a disturbance at that time?
yes.
Well, why wouldn't they be driving around looking for the bad guy rather than parked, in which you're planning on positioning your vehicle to be parked next to the other two vehicles? If you're parked and you're sitting in your vehicles, how much effort would you be making for some disturbance that's happening as a result of a complaint?
Objection form.
Their vehicles were on the opposite side of the parking lot. We weren't next to each other.
Oh, I thought they were. I thought that, okay, where on this picture of the police report, where would be the two other vehicles? You're right there at the exit.
Correct.
Objection form.
Sorry, are you finished? Did you have another question? Or did you have anything
No,
more to say?
you said the exit, it's an exit entrance. So that's why I objected, was because you said exit, it's not
Exit.
consistent with the testimony.
I think we can both agree that this is the only exit entrance to the whole place, isn't it?
No, it's not.
It's the only exit on this to Cameron Road, right?
Yes,
And the only entrance, right?
on Cameron Road.
And so you would expect people at the time that you had the accident to be coming both in and out of this entrance exit, correct?
Yes.
Okay?
You
Now,
not change tape.
sure.